So that's where that bug bit me, that there were these things in the bush, but I could never get to see them. I've heard that, a lot of these Americans and that they say that their whitetail is something similar to the way we feel about our bushbuck.
Yes.
Especially in the Eastern Cape. They feel about their whitetails.
It's ingrained.
As well. It's ingrained.
It's ingrained. Okay, so bushbuck. Now, before we even jump to bushbuck, if you had an opportunity to hunt an animal on a given day or on your last hunt, bushbuck ram, 18-inch bushbuck ram, nice big bushpig bull, what would you choose?
It would be difficult. If you gave me the option of a kudu, a sable, and any other animal, it would have been an easy choice between those two. But with those two, yeah, it's difficult. Listen, a bushbuck ram, a ram that is turning out in his prime, listen, there's few things that are as moy as that. The same with a nice bushpig bull and all of that. I'd hate to have to choose and all of that. I'd toss and turn all night worrying about it. But listen, a ram is, it's a very special animal. Impala and Bushbuck to a certain extent, you can go and fetch them almost any time. Yes, they can be difficult at times to get, and they can be wild and that type of thing, but a ram is exceptionally difficult. Kudu to a certain extent is the same, but a ram he's just that extra little bit special. I went up to a game farm up in the Northern Transvaal and that, and I mean, the guy's got massive kudu walking around there. Very impressive. And we suddenly went through a little river and we saw a bushbuck ram. And I went absolutely stupid over this bushbuck ram. And actually then, that's when I realized for myself that a bushbuck ram is actually, to me, more special than what a kudu bull is. Yeah. Now, a lot of people will say, no, you're nuts and that, talking nonsense. But what we've grown up with, and the place that these chaps hold, I think especially for us Eastern Cape chaps, you know what, a ram's a special thing.
It's not really something you can explain to someone.
No.
You can try and make them understand, but they'll never fully understand. No. It does something funny to you.
I've heard that, a lot of these Americans and that they say that their whitetail is something similar to the way we feel about our bushbuck.
Yes.
Especially in the Eastern Cape. They feel about their whitetails.
It's ingrained.
It's ingrained.
It's ingrained, and it definitely is an Eastern Cape. I've never heard of any other part of South Africa where people are so crazy about bushbuck hunting as we are here. So on that, how do you like hunting your bushbuck? What is your
walk and stalk?
Walk and stalk.
Walk and stalk is the absolute best. Going after these chaps early morning, late evening. There's just something special about finding that black ram. Yeah. Dark chocolate ram. Yeah. I think I've shot a lot in that, but you first, it's the color that grabs you first, those white collars.
Yes.
That's the first thing that grabs you. Afterwards, you might look at the horns, through the scope and so like, it's the old ram, but it's that black coat, those white collars.
Yeah.
Our nickname for them is a Friesland bull. Because of the white and the black in it. That's what we've always, in our family, we always nicknamed them. I went down past the fly area and there's a big Friesland bull standing there. Okay. And we know what we're talking about.
What do you put the dark coloration to? What is that's area specific? I mean, we used to hunt on a farm near Colchester that had the blackest bushbuck I've ever seen. You shot a very similar, like a charcoal black ram the other day. And are they specifically very dark though? Is that the exception to the rule, or I mean?
We get lighter rams. In our area here, I've shot brown rams, but our rams have the tendency to be blacker than what if you go down Car Road, Kumcha, your rams tend to get a bit lighter that side.
Yeah, and it's
They're
not,
more of a
it's
brown.
not an age thing.
No, it's got nothing to do with age.
It's not an age thing.
I know a lot of guys on your Burishad hunts and all of that, they would not shoot a black ram if it came up because they said it was a young ram. I know a lot of guys used to say that if it's a black ram, it means it's young. But it's actually got nothing to do with age. Not what I've seen around here.
Yeah.
It's genetics. You get some exceptionally black rams, and also the white. You'll see rams that have heaps of dots, and then you've seen the photographs of some of them that have actually got white stripes.
Yes, they're special.
And yeah, I think it's just genetics.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything necessarily specific to any area. It's just simply it's genetics.
Yeah, like horns. And I mean, I've heard so many different stories from the older generation. I love hearing them about. They used to say these, and you might have a couple to share on. They say the long, thin horns. Those are double rams, and those are dog pokers, and the ones with the closer horns together, they poke more dogs than others. I don't know if it's just old wives' tales or just stories that have passed down through the generations.
No, it is. Ours was a long neck ram and a thick neck ram. That's what our older guys used to say that I used to hunt with in that. Thick neck ram was your heavier set ram, and he had a tendency to have shorter horns, thick horns, but short. Your long neck ram, they always used to say, have got more longer, slender horns.
And again, it's not an age thing.
No, it's got nothing to do with age. I mean, I shot a ram now this season that it was actually the heaviest ram that I've ever shot. Dressed 42.4 kilos.
Cheapest.
And I don't even think he had 12-inch horns, but he was ancient.
And neck-wise?
It's huge neck, but his horns went thick. So that also, like I said, the old chaps used to say thick neck, thick horns, short horns, but now his horns were short and they were thin.
There's so many variables.
He put all his growth into his body, and it's just genetics. There's no way. It's the luck of the draw. If you're lucky that day and you find a 15 plus, pat yourself on the back. They don't come around often.
Yeah. It's just written in the stars. That one's to you, sent you from up above. Yeah.
Okay, 10 minutes. Go.
Okay, so bushbuck methodology of hunting them: walk and stalk, rifle, open sights, scope, shotgun. How do you do it?
That's also it's down to back in the day. Obviously, many years ago, that's the only weapon that I had was a shotgun, so we used to hunt them with a shotgun. Not ideal, also because you're more than likely going to wound the animal, and you don't want to get poked or kicked or anything else. So yeah, rifle is better. Bow hunting them is also fantastic. Cold, wet mornings, going after them with a bow, where you're going to find him hunched over, trying to get a bit of sunlight and all of that. That's brilliant. You can shoot a bushbuck's not necessarily an overly tough animal. I mean, you can shoot them with just about any caliber. But yeah, big is always better in my eyes with that one. And like I say, you don't want to get a wounded ram. I also learned a little bit with that rather use an extra bullet. Sometimes you don't want to fire another round. You don't want to mess up the skull. You don't want to mess up the cape if you want to mount it and all of that. And I actually wanted to just make a little incision on the throat to bleed it out, and the ram wasn't dead. And I made sure that I got hold of its horns, and I was holding onto that, and I forgot about the back hooves. The back hoof came over and it slit my wrist.
Cheapest.
So I first had to go and take care of myself, and then I had to come back and do the ram, where if I'd have just shot it straight away, it would have been a better thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, a person learns, and you've got to be careful for these chaps.
A wounded ram is a quick thing.
It's fast.
That thing is quick. Would you rather face a wounded bushpig or a wounded ram?
Bushpig any day.
Yeah.
Bushpig any day. Like you and I were talking earlier, if you've ever seen bushbuck rams fight,
yeah,
my soul, they are fast. A bushpig is a force to be reckoned with, but a ram is more than likely he's going to put you in hospital.
Yeah.
A pig's going to open up your leg or something like that, and then hopefully he's going to leave you. A ram, more than likely, is going to put those pins through your tummy.
Yeah.
And then you got big problems.
Yeah, I've heard some scary stories.
Yeah, so a pig any day I'll rather take on than a ram. A ram's not, you don't want to mess around unnecessarily with him.
Wounded bushbuck, pound for pound, I think they are probably, with antelope, they are probably the most aggressive when wounded.
Yeah, definitely.
From what I've heard.
No, definitely.
And the experiences we've had, but yeah, cheapers. Okay.
And I got teased to the end of earth with this particular hunt and all of that because a duiker came out and, you know, hunting with the older guys and all of that, I'm the pick and hen type of thing. I fired and I blew big chunks of ground out around this duiker, and it was a duiker ewe. It wasn't even a flippin' ram.
Oh, yeah.
But it was duiker ewe, and she stopped and she weed. She stopped, she squatted, she weed, and off she went. And I got teased about my gun's gonna rust. Everybody said, "Chum, do you have oil? You need to oil your gun, your gun's gonna rust." I mean, the duiker was probably came 5 meters past me, stopped, weed, and then carried on. And I never hit squat. And listen, I think that broke the ice. I was so rattled after that, I didn't know what I was doing. But anyway, this ram came out and I missed him on the first shot. I rolled him on the second shot. I think it was like 2 or 3 loopers through the neck. It was probably, shotgun-wise, it was a brilliant shot. And yeah, being teased about the duiker urinating after I'd blown big tufts of grass away around it and all of that, you know, it's the type of thing you don't forget.
Yes.
It's the type of hunt that sticks with you for forever and all of that. So yeah, that, like you say, that'll always hold a special place.
Yes, that's classic, man.
So yeah, that was my first bushbuck ram, and I'll always remember it, not necessarily for the ram so much, but for the incident with the duiker, which unfortunately the family hasn't forgotten about.
That is classic. So a bushbuck ram coming, just in closing, he's coming out at full tilt. The beaters have gone through a bush and he's got his horns on his back and he's hooking it across the open. Where do you aim with a shotgun? You 50 meters. Is that shotgun range, 50 meters?
Lots of guys used to ask me, how do you aim with the shotgun? Now, on your double barrel, it's actually got a little bit of a dip in the barrels. Mine didn't even have a front bead anymore. When I lifted and that dip disappeared, I would pull. I practiced for hours. I used to throw paint tin lids and shoot at that. I used to throw coffee tins with a stone in it up into the air, shoot that. So I practiced.
Okay.
And with a shotgun, lead is everything.
Because it's quite slow. It's slower than
anything. Yes, no, it is. It's incredibly slow. And I mean, yeah, if the bushbuck ram is 60, 70 meters, you can't shoot at it. You're going to end up putting a looper through the stomach or something like that. There's no point. It's got to be fairly close to you. And yeah, anywhere from a meter, depending on if he's got full taps open, if he's kicked his afterburners in and he's really sarking it and he's on the edge of the shotgun range, you can go anywhere up to 1.5 meter lead. Okay. On a ram like that.
Sure.
So yeah, same as with a rifle, shooting the rifle, a running shot and all of that. Obviously your lead comes down a little bit, but then again you got much bigger range. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
Obviously I didn't get the lead right on the duiker. It's one of those things, unfortunately.
Thank you, Butch.
Pleasure, Aubrey. Thank you.
And thank you for those stories, man. Yes, that is awesome.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, that's classic.